Thanks for letting me be here tonight. This is impressive to say the least, and confirms a bunch of suspicions of mine. I want to talk about that just a little bit. I took over the job as president of the state chamber a year and a half ago. And, I don't know why, but they pay me to travel the state and visit communities every day, and it's my passion. I grew up in Laurel, Crete, Neely, Gordon, and Geary. And what gets me up every morning is thinking about those communities, and also thinking about my role as state chamber president. What is it that's going to make Nebraska continue to be competitive for the next 20 or 30 years? And I would say to you that I'm convinced, not only through my travels, but from looking at the data, some of the blueprint data we had this year as well, probably the most important thing is going to be the vitality of our greater Nebraska communities. Say what you will about Lincoln and Omaha. I live in Omaha and work in Lincoln now. The connectivity between Nebraska and the talent that we create and the economy that we create when agriculture and manufacturing are 1 and 2 industries, there is no way to grow this state unless we substantially grow the communities around the state, particularly towns like the ones that I grew up in. And so I've been searching for the secret sauce of how we could get from point A to point B. And this group tonight reminds me of what that secret sauce really is. My journey in getting to know this organization just occurred in the last year and a half. And where are my friends from Pender tonight? Could you stand? Okay, so I gave you my list of hometowns. If they'll have me, I want Pender to be in my hometown too. So here I was brand new chamber president, and I was trying to figure out how do we find the secret sauce to start making this happen. I kept reading these articles and seeing this stuff about Pender, and so I had to go see for myself. So I contacted them and said, can I come up to Pender for a day and figure out what the secret sauce is? Now, I should have known immediately when I got there, because there were 15 to 20 people who were going to spend the day with me talking about Pender. And they did, and so I dug in to try to figure, and I asked them questions all day long and tried to find the secret sauce. And part of the secret sauce clearly was what I see in every community across the state, distinguishing between communities that are succeeding very well and some that are more challenged. Number one, it's always about leadership. It's about, do you have 15 to 30 people in this community that are going to make a difference? We have communities here that have 30 at dinner tonight. This is extraordinary. The power of these communities and the leadership sits right here. So that is number one. But there were a couple other things about Pender that intrigued me. And I speak about Pender, and this is true. I can't think of a speech I give anywhere where I don't talk about Pender. What was unique about Pender was Pender's like every other community in that there clearly were factions in Pender. Okay? Every community looks like my family's Thanksgiving dinner. You're good for about 2 or 3 hours, but that's about all you can take. And what was unique about Pender was these factions came together. And at one point just finally said, it's not worth it anymore. We've all got to be together around this or it's not going to happen. And that was the second piece of the secret sauce. None of this brings me here to you tonight, except the third piece of the secret sauce that I found. They kept saying nice things about this organization. And I knew about this organization, but I really didn't know about this organization. So I said, well, they helped you raise the money. They go, no, that was part of it, but that really wasn't the big part. They said, the key, and we don't think it would have gotten done, except this organization always challenged us to think bigger. Every time we thought we were going to build a $2 million community center, they'd say 4, and then we said 4, they said 5 or an 8. It was this organization that gave them the power to have the dreams to do some amazing things. It is one of the most amazing communities in the city, here in the state. This is the future of Nebraska. It's not what happens in Lincoln and Omaha. It's what happens in all of our communities. I am a firm believer we can take that secret sauce, and there are many other communities that are doing incredible stuff. I'm just a Bender homie. There are many communities, and you live in them, that are doing incredible things. And why that's important is I talk about it a lot, and I've mentioned it to you tonight. We are at the one point in history where we have the next generation coming up where the number one thing they care about is quality of life. And the number one asset we have as a state is quality of life. We've never been in a spot as a state ever before to rebuild our communities like we can right now. And this is the infrastructure right here tonight. This is as impressive as anything that I can think of. And so, from a state chamber standpoint, we're going to create some partnerships over the next couple of years. Teaming with what you see here tonight, what we can bring to the table is business leadership from across the state to team with everything that's here. We can also be effective lobbyists in Lincoln. And those partnerships are going to make a difference, and we're going to see if we can help you do what you do very, very well. I couldn't be more excited to be here. Thank you for letting me be here. I think 5 years from now, this is going to be a very, very, very different state in terms of our ability to compete and win for young people. And when people talk to me, and I'll leave you with this, when people talk to me, so my normal day is property tax and incentives and all those exciting things. The question of whether we're going to solve things like property tax and things like that, the one thing I always tell people is all of this depends on, are we going to attract 18 to 34-year-olds or not? If you give me that answer, I can tell you whether we're going to be able to fix all these other problems. If our communities are attracting 18 to 34-year-olds, we're good. And so I couldn't be more excited about the partnership. More to come on that. Thank you very much for allowing the State Chamber to be part of your evening tonight. Thank you very much.